Sitting in my room, waiting for the afternoon so I can finally tune in with my friends. Talk about good times, music, laughs, and easy vibes. You can share whatever's on your mind. 'Cause we're just misfits, regardless of your distance. You can always find a place called home on Misfits Radio.
Yo, woo, hey, Westside Misfits. Yo, you're independent, this the mix, you need to get up in it. 3 to 5, the show be lit from start to finish. Hit 'em up to slide through and promote your business. DJ Lab known to keep the hottest record spinning. Mixalot and T-Mac discuss the hottest topic. There's not a 2000 to let you know what's really poppin'. Miss Lit gon' make sure she get the angles right. Making moves even though she staying out of sight. Check the website, Misfits Media Group. Keep it 100 cause that's how they gon' give it to you. Something for anyone and everyone from every walk. 365, 24/7, got music and talk. Sundays, you know we getting in the mix. 3 to 5 with Westside Misfits. Kick facts, play music, and talk slick. Tell a friend to get in the mix. Tell a friend to get in the mix. Tell a friend to get in the mix. Sundays, you know we getting in the mix. From 3 to 5 with Westside Misfits. We in the mix, we in the mix, we in the mix. 3 to 5, we live. Tell a friend to get in the mix. Trump.
Officially in the mix, baby. I am Miss Mixalot.
I am DJ Lab.
And you know we got Slick 316 in the building, baby. We also have our co-host for the day. I don't know what he might want y'all to call him.
Right.
Well, I just shortened it to AD, which stands for
AD.
another dose, and then you can call me Dose.
I like that. Okay.
Another dose.
Yes. Man, today is Sunday, January 29th, honey.
That's right.
And when I tell you, time is flying because what? It's almost February.
Almost.
And you know February's short.
The candy out already.
Yep, Valentine's Day.
So
everywhere.
then it's gonna be
Already.
March, and then what? Easter.
Yeah.
Like what the what? And what y'all gonna do about the Easter egg, huh? Y'all gonna do potatoes? What y'all gonna do? Cause baby, the eggs are, you know what I'm saying?
I got my eggs stocked up.
So right.
I'm selling them. 17.5.
Man, it's so funny. Seriously, because
Not 17.5.
I'm in a group on Facebook called Women of Douglasville, right? And one of the ladies actually has a coupe, but she's been had it for a long time. She was like, the amount of people who are now stopping by her residence. She is like, I only been here like 15 years, what?
Right.
Hey.
And they like, yeah, but the eggs prices went up like a few weeks ago.
Right.
I'd cash
So we
in.
need you.
Exactly, cash in on that.
Exactly. So yeah, she was like that. She been doing really good with the chicken coops. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
You know, okay.
She get that farmer. Did she get that farming tax credit too?
Birds the word.
And you imagine being in Douglasville 15 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, it was almost like it was always like the country to us. So she been there, so she been watching how things have transpired. Has changed over the last couple of years, and she is like, I thought I would move to the country. I'm gonna have to go a little further.
Yeah, we lived out here a while back. We lived out here we lived in Villa Rica maybe
Villa Rica?
maybe 15
Yeah,
years
Villa
ago.
Rica is definitely
I know more.
on the countryside
Right.
than Douglasville,
Right.
but now even with Villa Rica, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, I like it, so I crossed a few train tracks getting here, so
Right.
I enjoyed that.
Right. But yeah, and she lives near the train tracks too. So
Little lake out there too.
oh yeah. You like to fish?
Hey, I'm gonna try to this year.
Okay. You know that a lot of people the fishing thing is good mental.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it's therapeutic for most people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get out there and fish
I'll
and
be asleep.
Yeah, that. But
But
In the water.
it's a sense of calmness that you will feel. But if you go with people that you enjoy, like if all of us go fishing, you'll have a good time.
yep.
It'll be therapeutic in a different way because we out there like we comparing the fish that we done caught.
See, that's why I couldn't go. Cause y'all
Putting
won't
bait
have
on
me-
the
Y'all won't
on the
have
line.
me go,
Well, that's how I be doing too, cause I don't really be fooling around with all that. Like, no.
be like, look at this big nigga right here.
Right. Let me tell you something. I heard a video yesterday, and this dude was talking about because he has a soft voice for a man, and he was just saying how he was like, there was a commercial, and he was talking about how he went into a store to like rob the bank or whatever, and everybody took him serious, so he said, "Everybody lay down," and he said everybody looked up like. No,
I heard
we ain't
that
doing
commercial.
And you saying like that
So
go was
with
too
your baby
funny.
voice.
Right? I was like, what? But you can. But it is different because I told Labnum about one time I was on my way to work. I never forget this incident. I'm in line at Quick Trip in Snellville, and I'm waiting to be seen or whatever, and I got done, and I'm walking off, and before I could get out the door, the police officer started talking. And I was like, this man is 6 feet tall, like he big, and he was talking like Prince. I was like,
No.
I had to turn
You
around.
weren't talking like Prince.
Hold
Prince
your
had a
laughing.
deep voice. You ain't hear Prince's voice?
No,
Prince
he
like, yes,
sounded like,
yeah.
no.
He talking like Mike Jackson.
yeah,
Okay,
maybe like
okay.
Michael Jackson, because I was like,
We not gonna disrespect Prince on this show. That's what we are not about to do.
no, it is no
I'm just
disrespect to
messing with
Prince,
you.
but he is entirely too big to be talking like a princess. I was just like, I turned around, the lady that was hipping at me at the counter, she almost went under the counter because I guess she was used to it. But my reaction to his voice, I was like, oh no, sir.
Like he had a shot
That
of
would
helium.
not be your voice.
Not the helium. Squeaky.
Big for that.
Right.
Sir, the hell is going on? When I tell you that lady could not, she was like, when I went back in there, it was like 2 days later.
Right.
She said, baby, she said, when I tell you I couldn't stop laughing, she said, it was the look on your face. I said, ma'am, I was so disturbed by that. I couldn't even, I honestly couldn't. I couldn't even recover. Because I was just like, what the what? So, men, I don't know how y'all, if it's, all this technology now, I know it's a way that y'all can put some bass in y'all boys. Now, if you want somebody to take you serious.
You have to practice that.
Yeah, he
have
might
to
he might
practice.
like sounding falsetto.
Oh.
Practice that.
What do you mean you have to practice?
Well, I mean, because some people are just not born with deep voice. Like the guest host last week, his voice was deep. You know what I'm saying? Like what Rick said, it was bedroom
But he
deep.
ain't practiced that,
I'm
did he?
just saying, but if they don't have a deep voice, they have to practice working with it. If they don't naturally have a deep voice, they have to, you know.
He may have been excited and hit them high notes when he started
he
talking
might
to
have
you.
been excited to see you.
Hi, I'm Donna.
Okay, now.
No.
Your voice sound like you trying.
Yeah.
Right,
really.
that's what I'm saying. So what? I don't know, but men, I know it's something that can help y'all if y'all had that little high pitched voice. It's something that can help y'all. The way technology is, I know if they can replace all this stuff they
Technology can't help
replacing, they can help y'all with that.
Technology can't help that.
You don't think
Nope.
so?
No.
Hit the vocal cord one time.
You gotta practice. Just like singers practice their high notes getting higher. You have to practice your deep notes. It's a
Have you ever
process.
practiced your deep voice?
I mean, it came natural for me, so.
I practiced
okay.
mine.
You did?
My uncle tell me, you gotta talk with a deep voice. My voice was pretty much, it was lighter than this when I was younger. But he'd be like, yeah, dog, you you got to practice your deep voice. And he would talk like that. And I was like, so I got to talk deep like you? He's like, yeah, because these women don't want no nigga with no light voices.
No, they don't want. He want to sound like a new.
Right.
That deep. No, that's when you have to practice. No, I'm not that deep.
Yeah, that's what he would say.
My
uncle voice is deep.
Oh,
like,
deep.
Okay, like Mark.
Like Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
WB
was
Frog
like,
deep.
no. that is, but because I couldn't, the thing about it is the way the society is made up now, I couldn't imagine being a man with that high-pitched voice and people not really know, you know what I'm saying, like which way to come at you type. I don't know, I feel kind of bad for them. But we got a lot to talk about today, y'all. Yeah, let me ask y'all this. Did y'all hear today are banning gas stoves?
Gas stoves?
That they're banning.
Yeah, gas stoves are they're being banned. Yeah.
Yeah.
When too many people blowing stuff up or something?
Well, for one, gas is high.
Okay.
And for two, they think it's a safety issue. You're right.
Oh, okay.
So all stoves have to be electric now.
Yeah, because I kind of skimmed this. Yeah, I know how I am. I like to read everything. So I saw an article that was about to talk about it, and I was trying to copy the link, but unfortunately it went away before I could get it. Yeah. So I was like, ban gas stoves. Then I was like, I gotta ask y'all. So you have heard about it?
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that I wasn't tripping, because I was like, because you know sometimes they can give you a misleading caption, and then you try to get into the, you know, the meat and potatoes, and you can't.
This year, the year they started banning them.
Oh, okay.
This
Well,
year they started banning them.
That's what it said.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I still have a gas stove, and sometimes I'm not as confident when I come in the house and I can smell like undertones of gas.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know what I'm saying, if it's leaking or if if I left it on from time to time.
Right.
Plus, my house is like from the 60s, so it's about time, you know what I'm saying, that I
Okay,
either get like a new stove or just get someone in there to test the levels of it. But
Well, if you have a carbon monoxide detector, that's something good to have too. If you know what I'm saying, if you have any kind of gas in your home, because it will give you, you know what I'm saying, because that's the main thing when it comes to the safety part of it. You want to make sure that it's not spewing anything that will cause you all to just like maybe just leave here while you sleep. Because I remember one of my mom's friends, I never forget that. That was one of the things that worried my mama so much. Was one of her friends, her I don't know what happened, but they was using a generator, and I don't know if they didn't open the door. I don't know what happened, but however, that carbon monoxide from that generator killed all of them while they was asleep.
Yeah, you have to put them generators outside, man.
But that's what I was thinking. But I don't. The thing about it is though, that's why I said I don't know if it was outside and maybe they had the door open or like you know how the cords. Like I don't know. It was some kind of way the carbon monoxide from the generator actually came back into the house.
Oh, okay.
And it actually killed them. So yeah, you want to definitely have a carbon monoxide.
I know sometimes I'm paranoid because I got my water heater down there that'll click on, and I'm like, hey, that's a flame right there. So, but I know if they are upgrading to like electric, that's gonna make me feel a lot better anyway. So I'll probably do that.
Yeah, I think because I'm not sure what the statistics are as to what made them even think about anything like that. Because you know it has to be something that happened,
Of course.
in order for them to even put it on their radar. If everything been going well with it, they wouldn't have even thought about it. But it had to be something like a big lawsuit that somebody done had to pay. Like it has to be something that has caused. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then so we're gonna talk about some more stuff too, but let me just give y'all an idea. So I did want to touch bases on the nurses that bought their certification in Florida. We'll talk about that. We also, of course, you guys know we're gonna say Tyre Nichols' name. We got to say his name because a lot is going on with that. We're gonna jump into that too, and then we're gonna tap into the 2-parent homes. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too. So we got a lot to discuss today, and that's one of the main reasons why we didn't have a guest to interview. Of course, we'll get in AD's business a little bit, just what he want to share.
Whatever y'all.
But you know, we I greatly appreciate you for coming on as a guest host, man. I put it out there about maybe a month or two ago, and I had a very good response for people that was like, I'll come in, you know, and I'll be able to tap in on things, and so I appreciate that. But we've kept in touch the whole time, and we were just trying to make sure that we got to the main ingredients of what we got going on. So I felt like an interview would kind of throw us off.
Right.
So that's why I was like, we're going to get in here and talk about some of the things that the people want to talk about.
That's right.
The people want to hear. And don't forget, man, y'all call us. Y'all can call in at any given time, 678-740-9894. Let me.
They be scared of that phone, man.
They do sometimes. They do sometimes.
Right.
But let me get a number out one more time. 678-740-9894.
Right.
Y'all got it?
Right.
All right, now I'm going to run it back again. But however, I do want to see if DJ Lab will get us in the mix one time. You want to get us in the mix, Lab?
I don't.
Kind of?
Because Instagram going to cut us off.
Well, why?
Going to delete our video.
Why?
They did it last time.
Why did they do that?
I have no idea.
What you playing?
All independent artists.
Oh.
Where they getting their stuff from? That's the other problem, ain't it? And make sure y'all send us some music,
I might have to turn
too.
it down and then turn it up. Maybe talk through it.
Oh. We got to figure that out, because for what my thing is, we're a fully functioning radio station. Hold on. What page are you going live from?
Misfits Radio.
And they doing it from Misfits Radio?
Oh.
Interesting.
That Tycoon, that remember I did the whole mix?
Oh, yeah.
They took his video, removed his whole video.
What?
Yeah. They just removed another video just recently, doing the Shan's video to this morning.
Oh, Shan did a show today?
No.
Oh, okay. You said they removed one.
Yeah, they removed one. And it wasn't even she don't even play music during her show. It was one of her interview people's music.
Really?
Yeah, she would interview somebody and we played their music during the show.
I don't know, because they getting super sensitive about certain things, and I get it. Because everybody want their ends or their money and all this stuff right here.
We're not saying nothing about the ends, but geesh.
That's what I'm saying. But just to me, if we have all of our credentials are intact and we have, so it's like, why would you even make us go against? You know what I'm saying? Like we have to prove it. It's just too much.
I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah, we want to hear some new talent.
We'll see what happens.
Let's see.
Well, definitely send y'all music in, man, to DJ Lab 1202, DJ LAB. I always have to make that very specific because for some reason, I don't know what the lab sound like coming from me, but y'all don't never get it. So it's DJ Lab 1202, and I don't know, but at gmail.com, man, send us some music so we can get you in rotation.
All right.
Intoxicating your eardrums. Mixologist DJ Lab.
Shake that ass, roll them hips, get a little low with it. The music jumping, speaker bumping, bend over low with it. It's longer the party going, we gon' turn up, we gon' ride. We came to do some niggas, so you laying shit, step aside. Come over here, boy, let me break it off some proper like. Ain't talking about no church of chicken, no Zasper chicken, no straight pie. I got the bone cushion, make push main shit to the side. And there'll be no regret, bring the check, go let's ride. I don't know more freaking than hand down, but you gotta break my order, get my pant down. Ain't talking about a lunch date, no movie date, big fast now. You ain't about wanna stand, need to bounce now. Gonna take more than that to hold my house down. Cause I got mouths to feed, goes to meet that's now. I got that sloppy, that gushy, that wet, that fire head, do a head check. Babe, who wanna throw your girl a check? Suck you up like a vacuum cleaner. My head no misdemeanor. I be coming like a felon, step you thought ahead with fire, yo, the coochie's meaner.
I see you mad, we in the bag, you looking lost. Get out the way, nigga. We in the vault, in a fall, pick up and boss. Got a new bitch, give us a brain, the big one say. If we Switching these lanes, had to buy a new chain and try to copy the brand. Wearing this gold, yeah. Keep the 40 on call. Only fuck me if it's low. Give me less, give me throw. Got this cup full of low. Baby hitting that blow. Now she ready to go, just her and her friends, nobody else knows. You niggas is money back with us, at least they praying to God, cause I know that he with me. Her ass in my face, baby got a new tap, but that work on a nigga, I'm giving a rack. We are just gold, yeah. And the power inside. Busy running up checks, Ricky Bobby tryna race to the end. Ain't no top of no friends. My brothers, my niggas, I need. Come down in the water, we bleed. That Louis I wear on the sleeves. You niggas, you hatin'. All that talking, just pat on the bacon. You niggas like biscuits, you flaking. All that talking, go get your soul taken. I see that you mad, yeah. That ain't no fault. We in the fall, you in the sauce, your bitch tryna call. Don't make us start shooting like commas. But your family's so hard like rockets. Diamonds, hurricane, Jose. Got an ugly face, I'll take you no way, no way, no way, no way, no way.
All these niggas have brains, no ain't mine, they rapping lies. Who you gonna listen to?
Just turn the beat up.
Meet me at the top floor, that's the loft. You know what it is, baby girl, I'm a boss. Bought you some new clothes, be prepared to take them off. You can bring some friends and I'll supply the sauce. Be prepared to take a loss. Be prepared to take it off. Cause you know what it is, and I know what it costs. Baby girl, you can meet me in the loft. Upstairs, catch me on the top floor. Upstairs, talking to my nigga Pablo. He invited up a group of models. We ordered some bottles, they coming out of their clothes. Deep strokes, got her bustin' like a drink. One hand around her neck, the other hand around her ankle. She done spun your knee, got the pipe on liquid drain. Top floor, best bring higher wood, higher wood.
I'ma take the bag and I'ma run it up. I'ma take the chicken, I'ma catch it out. I'ma take the bag and I'ma run it up. I'ma take the chicken, I'ma catch it out. Check up. Whip so sick, need to check up. Check up. If you get into the check, throw your hands up. Check. Keep these hoes in check. Running with the check. Keep these hoes in check. Running with the check. Duffel bag full of checks. Pocket fools from them checks. Blank smoke blowing out my nose. I bought it from the check. I keep a check. Listen, I don't like to write no checks. Just sign it in my name. Then I'm cashing out the check. Give a bit of respect, I'ma put it in check. Better with your turn, cause you know that I'm next. I can get what I want, I ain't even gotta flex. I'm winning, and I ain't even gotta bet. I'm bad. Hold up, let me count up. No must of my cash up. Rubber band stacks don't fold up. My pen and bank done rolled up. Keep a duffel bag on my shoulder. I'm camouflaged like a soldier. Switching whips, bipolar. I came up and I told you. Checks on my feet, gold on my teeth, ice on my sleeve, rock on my ring, shine like a bling. Money sit tall, off with your head. Yeah, I'm a queen. I'ma take the bag and I'ma run it up. I'ma take the chicken, I'ma catch it out. I'ma take the bag and I'ma run it up. I'ma take the chicken, I'ma catch it out. Check up. Whip so sick, need to check up. Check up. If you get into the check, throw your hands up.
Take off. Fucking I did it again. I hit for 50, I don't hit them all. Yeah, I push it down my twin. I roll it down, you see I'm alone, you know I'ma hit it again. They hit Lil Rico with that fire, they know I miss my twin, yeah. No cracker back at it again. They tryna take some of my life, the first play with 10. Yeah, still in that pen, you know he get it in. They got peso, pen, they call it 10. I got your bitch at the spot, you know she gon' fuck for some. I'm with the gang and we have a stain, you know we ain't going for nothing. I keep that glove right on my heel, you know I'm gon' blab for some. I was just down, I didn't have a dime, you know I ain't asked for nothing. Yo, I rock the plane, the boys at the house, they copy the way, they tryna get clout. Got them Hussein outside of the house, I got 100 inside of the couch. We broke out them bags, he ain't in no drum, we leaving them dead for running his mouth. And I got a Glock, it ain't got no say, they play with the game, we running them down, we running them down, we running them down.
We got a man in here. 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 Tell me what you know about a big face. Dead president with the green face. Don't be frank, cause I'm cashing out. Stay running up, don't green mouth. Talking bricks, getting rich. Only fuck with a bad bitch. I'm doing numbers on my money flip. I'm going in, that's off rip.
20. Meal the palm be itching. Got it set right while me take flight. Blowing gas outside. Fucking up some commas. Yeah, nigga, I'm doing numbers. Yeah, I'm shit.
That was the independent artist mix. We was trying something because for some reason social media is not being fair to us.
They don't like us.
They ain't really treating us right. But I have realized this though, like on Instagram, Instagram and well, I don't know about Facebook because I ain't studying them. I just don't even pass they test at all no more. I don't know, and I don't think I do much of nothing wrong. But however, I put up that post this morning. I thought they were gonna flag it, but they didn't. I told everybody good morning to the men, women, and the in-betweens. And I was like, they gonna give me. But they ain't give me though.
Why? That's how you started it?
I did. Because my thing is, I don't care about sexuality and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why would I care what you attracted to? But I don't want to offend anybody that identify with whatever they, want to identify with. But, so that's why I'm like, y'all really be, I don't know.
Super sensitive.
Yeah, super sensitive about stuff to me that they don't even know, don't even matter to me. Like, exactly. I would want everybody to be happy. Deal with who you deal with.
Right.
Love is love.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care nothing about all that. And that's and I be throwing people off with that because I can't remember what status it was, but this one dude was like, "Oh, you can't straddle the fence." This is when they had messed me up.
My name so say Facebook jail.
Right. Like for real, you know how they do me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was like, "You can't straddle the fence." I was like, "How am I straddling the fence?" That mean that you uphold what's going on. That mean that's them for business.
Exactly.
I'm not understanding how. That's what happened when I got when they did me like that the last time. Because I'm going back and forth with him because I'm like, that's them people business. I don't care nothing about that. And for some reason I guess he reported it and they said it was against the community. I said a little bit more than that. Let me be.
Got in his feelings a little bit.
Yeah, but he was like, you straddling the fence. I'm like,
it ain't no fence to straddle.
Ain't even no fence
ain't
there.
Even no side to choose.
No fence there, buddy. That's your fence.
Exactly.
Am I straddling your fence?
Right, you do what you do, we do what we do.
Exactly, and keep it pushing. But however, it was all good. I mean, I recovered from it 45 days later,
Got them Facebook cuffs off you.
I got back on Facebook. Oh my God, damn, where you been?
Facebook probation.
I was cracking up because they literally like even my Messenger, even though Messenger is separate from Facebook now, even some people couldn't even message me on Messenger. Wow. I don't know how that works.
They big mad.
Right. So I was like, what? I don't even know if I am saying this name correct. Do you know, is it Tyree or is it Tyre? Like, how do you say that name? Because one thing I'm going to do is mess up a name.
Well, Tyree. I think
you think it's Tyree?
I think so.
That's what AD said. He think it's Tyree too. So Tyre Nichols.
Mr. Nichols.
So Mr. Nichols is the Memphis, Tennessee, the man from Memphis, Tennessee, that succumbed to his injuries after being, beat by several police officers. They're saying 5, but we counted a little bit more than that on the video.
9 of them on the scene, and not one of them had enough sense, decency, and just morality to intervene, say stop, nothing.
Right. So
Scorpion like Red Dog, huh?
Of course.
So this is
they're gonna have to disband that. They're disbanding that.
Red Dog era,
but this is the thing. The officer that's over them, the chief of police, from here.
That's what.
And she was and she was actually a part of the Red Dog Squad, and she was actually released from her.
Well, we know how Red Dogs get down over here.
Exactly, and the thing about it
Feet first.
I can be perfectly honest with you. To a certain extent, the Red Dogs was needed in that era, just like these guys right here can actually be needed as well. But you can't take it too far, and it has to be fair. My thing is the Red Dogs didn't care who you was and what color you were, and they was gonna go in. Period. But. And I say that to say I just don't feel like those officers would have treated another nationality the way that they treated Mr. Nichols.
Not only that, but I just wanted to say this too. As they yanked that man up out of his vehicle and was trying to detain him and put cuffs on him, obviously they were like over exaggerated and totally escalated the situation. But after beating that man, he started to run. That wasn't running from the cuffs.
Why would you not?
Exactly. I was gonna say that ain't no running from trying to be locked up. That's running from trying to stay alive. Right. Y'all gotta recognize the difference in that right there.
That's what I said. You're fighting for your life. Like if something hurts you, are you gonna just keep sitting there and let it hurt you? Like, and you just think about it. If something is hot and you put your hand over it, you just gonna sit there and you gonna pull back. You gonna show some resistance. Why would you not?
Yep.
Why would you not? It's human nature. When something hurts, you react. That's a part of our sensory.
Right.
That's part of our nerves.
Cover your head.
Thank you.
Do whatever you can to protect yourself.
The only thing they could say after everything was over, he was going for my gun. That's the famous line.
He was communicating.
Reach for his gun. They emptied so much pepper spray on him that they pepper sprayed themselves.
Yep.
Come on, y'all.
They went frantic
one
on that
man now. This is one man. Then y'all saw his frame.
But then they picked him up and let the other cop punch him.
Yeah.
The other cop ran, said, move out the way, and kicked him in the face.
Yeah.
At what point did you say he could?
They used batons on him too.
But at no point nobody thought that y'all went too far. Like, bro, y'all, come on now.
And then dropped him off at the hospital. Like, you can explain that. Like that's like
they weren't worried about getting in trouble,
they weren't, because it wasn't their first time.
Right.
Exactly.
So
this has been done before. You can tell.
This has been done continuously before, and nobody's doing anything about it. Because guess what? The only thing the people from Memphis saying is, "Shit, that's Scorpion Squad."
That's what they do.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. Like how we used to be with the Red Dogs, not knowing that shit was abuse.
Exactly.
So this is my whole thing right here, though. What was the initial traffic stop for? Like, what happened? That's the part that I still don't even have. I don't have a clear.
They said that they stopped him for misobeying traffic laws. That's all they said.
But I'm saying, what does that even mean?
Exactly. And that doesn't cause for death.
Man, even guilty people don't kill guilty people. You don't kill. You know what I'm saying? As many people as they are. See,
you know what that was? That was ego. That was them saying to him, "Oh, how dare you question us? Or how dare you try to run from us?" That's all that was. But let me ask y'all one question though. One flip a coin real quick. You notice how when other nationalities beat a black guy to death, the police union right there in the front row on the press conference where they at?
Trying to back it a little bit, launching their own investigation on it. We're gonna have some
out of the way.
Some suspensions while we look into it.
Yeah, they ain't do none of that for these cops. And guess what? That's what's gonna teach them their lesson.
Right.
You still black.
You still black.
Well, that
police union,
they disowning their own on this
with or without that badge.
Exactly.
Where that police union at now? That's
exactly.
They should be even more ashamed of themselves doing that to their own with the uniform on after we already in this movement of this. You know what I'm saying?
And it gets even more confusing for me because my thing is black men and women are the only people that can't mess up. Nope. We cannot mess up. I don't care if it's asking a question to authority. I don't care. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's so like we can't.
It's a microscope on us.
You can't make a mistake.
And it's crazy to me.
We can't question an officer
We can't question authority. Period. Not even if it's not disrespectful. Only thing we need is clarity.
Exactly.
We can't even get that.
Nope.
Right.
But these police officers and people show grace to all other nationalities, but a black man and a black woman is zero understanding.
So my thing is though,
either of us.
What you got a Scorpion unit for giving out a traffic stop? Like that ain't no aggressive, violent crime, you know.
But did you see that none of their cars are marked either?
What?
All their cars are unmarked.
Wow.
Unmarked. No, nothing saying police on their cars whatsoever.
So could they have been targeting him?
I'm just saying. They're just if I see somebody pulling up behind me, blue lights, it's a lot of people who play like they police. And you have no only thing they said when they got the car said Scorpion on the back, because somebody said they didn't even know they were police until they saw Scorpion on their back or something like that.
And first of all, if I ain't from Memphis, how in the hell do I even know what a Scorpion is? If I'm not familiar with this police squad and I'm out there visiting, how do I even know what a Scorpion is?
Not only that, but that type of tactical unit right there, you're going to already be nervous and on the edge if you're a black man. I can tell you that right now.
Exactly.
And most of the time, you're not going to go in with just the handcuffs on. You're probably going to get slammed down a couple of times or two, have to make that trip to the hospital, then you're going to get booked in. But it's never really just a cut and dry, we're going to cuff him, tell him his charges, and book him.
Thank you. That's the part that I don't understand when I hear other black men saying, well, why y'all need to stop resisting arrest? Y'all need to stop doing this. Y'all need to stop doing that. And I'm like,
he didn't have time to resist in that one. I ain't see no resistance. I saw just corral that man up and boom, it's on.
I mean,
snatched him out.
If they equate resisting to them yelling, "Give me your hands, give me your hands," while they kicking and beating them, they gonna miss my hands too, because I'm be trying to protect myself.
Folding up and covering your organs. We all taught to do that. Put your hands over your head to avoid skull damage. You know what I'm saying? You don't want broken ribs. You don't want punctured kidneys. So you gonna roll up and ball up. That ain't resisting. That's trying not to absorb the blows you putting on me for nothing.
Well, Forever Blooming said some pieces to the puzzle missing.
Of course.
Forever Blooming Love said that, and then Slick said he was scared. That's why he was.
I think he was scared too. Of course, like it's always.
He should have been.
It's always some more details that's going to actually come out. But my thing is, I just don't see them releasing the portions of the videos that show so much derogatory behavior. Unless they only did that because they was our skin folks.
But not only that, so what I've learned going forward.
Fired them men so quick.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying, and you know that ain't normal.
And first of all, this ain't the first, like I said, first time we've been beat. You can scroll back to the Rodney King and probably before that. But now what you showing me is we can get shot with the gun. We can get tased half to death. We can get pepper sprayed to death. We can get our necks broken in the back of vans and patrol cars. We can get stomped out on the street. We can get our necks kneeled on till we can't breathe. So how many more ways y'all gonna create to kill somebody?
Exactly.
As the police though.
And keep saying.
It's like y'all getting creative with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up?
Stop resisting. And it's like,
I know the police are shorthanded, but they need to give psychological evaluations to these.
They do.
And we say law enforcement, but I just say code enforcement, because they not lawyers. So
exactly,
you know what I'm saying? You can't pass any bars, but they need to give psychological evaluations, and they need to do that every 5 years. They need to do that every so often to all the police officers, because dealing with the kind of stuff you deal with, you know how mentally damaged those people are.
PTSD,
coming in and going out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree, and this is the thing, and that's why I'm always hemmed up in the middle, because my daddy was killed as an Atlanta police officer. And what I learned, even from the experience of losing him at the hands of somebody that he fought for in the community, he believed in being fair.
Exactly.
So the way I look at certain things, of course it ain't gonna be ideal to some people, but my daddy believed in being fair. He believed that black people should police black people, but not in a manner of abuse or anything like that, but in a manner of not being afraid to let them know, okay, you breaking the law, not using excessive force when it came to certain things. You feel what I'm saying? Like that kind of fairness
was given back in the day. I know back in the days when black police weren't supposed to pull over white officers, and your father went through that.
Yeah, he did.
White folks. We did police our own people different, because we knew our people. We were from those neighborhoods. A lot of these cops aren't even from where they policing, so they don't know the dynamics of the neighborhood. Your father was from that area. He was policing.
Well, see, he had only been from that area because he went to college there. He was born in LaGrange.
Oh, okay.
But see, he had older brothers. An older brother that was a police officer. And it was a lot of different ranges of it. When he came here, he came to college at Morehouse. And what he noticed was the lack of fairness. And that's what made him even change his major and go into policing. Because you in the West End and you looking at these folks like, well, why are they policing us?
Right.
So one thing I wanted to touch on
they don't like us.
that both of y'all mentioned was, first of all, laws. So we need morals just like we need laws. But if you in law enforcement and you don't even know you breaking the law on me, how you gonna enforce the laws? So some of these police officers need to brush up on them bars and all the what it take to be a lawyer. You might need to run through some of them classes and courses.
Yeah, that's what
I do agree.
Blooming Love said. Do we think that it's time to require bachelor's degrees for the role with it, additional schooling and training?
I think additional training.
They're gonna need some ethics.
I think additional training, and I think definitely ethics. I think additional training would help, and the main reason I say that is because you'll be surprised how many officers don't even know the law for real.
Yep.
And I feel like because of course if you go through training, but because they've been in demand, especially like the new officers within the last 5 years type officers, I can be honest with you, I'm sure some stuff they done missed.
Now, I'm going to say this because it sounds funny to me, and I only bring this up because I see it in like movies and television shows. But like, I'm sure it's a real internal affairs, and what the hell are they doing if this type of stuff keeps happening? Maybe we need some type of separate organization or corporation besides people that they appoint or have that it's in-house this or something, another chain of command that people have to answer to or investigate these things that can hold them accountable, because it's been going on still, even with people being audited and investigated, interrogated within the same corporation.
Yeah, I think the problem, they do have internal affairs, they have district attorneys too.
Exactly.
But they all work so intertwined together that it kind of blurs the lines of things.
Yep.
Well, that's why we usually give it to the GBI in Atlanta.
But even that.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody gonna know somebody or be attached to somebody.
The only reason why I'm okay with that, not so much is okay with that, the only reason why I can say that in all honesty, a lot of times the GBI gonna take it for what it is, and if you're wrong, we're in a brotherhood, but at the same time, you got to be chastised. It's because I know two different people that were actually killed by the police. Two young boys that was killed by the police, and the GBI, their families demanded that someone higher than APD take over their case, and the police officers have both been charged. So you feel what I'm saying? So that's why I not so much as believe in them as much, but I know to a certain extent I would rather try to trust them than to leave it at the local level.
Exactly. Because at some point it's getting to be the people that are causing these problems and the people that are allowing these problems and these violations to us are the same people that we turning around looking for to help us. Right. And that's backtracking, and that don't make sense, and that's never gonna help us get forward.
So and that's why when I hear people, and I hate to even implement this or say this, but it leads into our next story anyway. So when I hear parents say, I went to the police for help. You went to the police for what?
Right.
Yeah.
The police ain't never helped you.
Nope.
Okay, so what do you think gonna help your child?
So what you
help him to a cell?
That's what I'm saying.
Or help him get into the system.
What are you reaching
you
out
putting a target
to the police
on your back.
for? Like you couldn't have thought of nobody else to try to help you?
You almost telling the state to raise them, and then they're just gonna get paid off of them and shuffle them through.
Exactly, and not even that. Most times they don't take over. Like it has to be something excessive. Like you got to leave here. Like you got to die, or be almost dead. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have an emotional bond or attachment to the child that you want them to help. You, the parent, you should be doing the help.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it really worries me when I hear parents say that. Well, because I was calling, I was trying to get help, and I called the police, and I was like, that was your first wrong move.
Exactly.
That was the first thing that you should have never tried.
Nope.
Police not trained for domestic stuff
You
like that.
You know, when we was younger,
and mental issues.
I remember my daddy was considered an officer friendly, right? He used to come up to our schools,
I remember Officer Friendly.
You remember Officer Friendly?
I remember the Officer Friendly.
Had serious relationships with people, you know, like getting to know the community. Like the officers now don't even get in the community.
No.
Like now, I can say this. Now I was telling them I had uploaded on Facebook. I got stopped 2 times the other day on Campbellton Road. Now I can be honest, I've been living on Campbellton Road 15, 20 years, and I ain't never been stopped on Campbellton. Now I done went through a whole lot of BS on Cascade. Right. Don't get me talking over there, cause they done took my car and did all kind of stuff over there. But on Campbellton, they don't usually bother me. So to get stopped twice in one day, I was like, ooh.
And one day,
what's up? Hey, y'all.
What you really want to say, officer?
Might start flirting.
What is you doing?
Right.
So the first officer was super dope. His name Mathis, maybe Officer Mathis. Young guy. He was like, I'm pulling. You know why I'm pulling you over? I was like, I have no clue. I had the window rolled down. I was hollering out the window. I have no clue because he was coming up on the side of me. You know, that's a very dangerous type situation too, to be having to come up behind folks and stuff. So I was like, I have no idea what's up. He was like, you had your phone in your hand. And I was like, why would I have my phone in my hand? He was like, yeah, you had your phone in your hand when I looked over. I said, and I had my AirPod, and I was like, why would I have my phone in my hand? And he was like, I thought you had your phone in your hand. I said, my phone is, I reached over and I said, my phone is in my purse. The craziest thing is, if my AirPod is in distance, I don't know the damn phone at. Right. So I was like, I was like, can I get my phone or whatever? And he was like, yeah. So I pulled my phone out of my purse and I showed him my phone. He was like, oh, I thought that was your phone in your hand. I was like, which hand? And he was like, this hand. I was like, no. You see where I just pulled the phone from. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, I didn't know, but I honestly didn't know why he was pulling me over. That's why I was like, what?
You ain't got nothing in your hand.
It wasn't nothing in my hand. My hand was literally on the little rest right there. So that's why I was like, okay. Right. And then he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, I'll let you go on about your business. He was like, but yeah, you know that the green button on your steering wheel is for the call, and the red is for the end.
What the hell? He trying to see if you on the phone and all that.
I was just like, okay, thank you so much, officer. Yeah. What's your name again? Right. Officer. Right. Because you got it wrong this time. Right. But you know, I wasn't finna do all that. So I was like, thank you. And I kept on going. So I turns around, go and get real for school. Child, I'm coming back down Campbellton. The other officer pulled me over darn near in the same place. Right. And was like, you know why I pulled you over? No. I didn't know why I got pulled over earlier today either. He was like, what, you got pulled over earlier today? Yeah. Right here. Almost at the same spot. I was like, what's up? He was like, your brake light, such and such and such. I was like, my brake light? I was like, okay. So I pressed the brake light. I see the brake light come on. And he was like, no, your brake light malfunctioned. Somebody said I just got my brake light fixed. Because I just bought bulbs, everything for my brake lights, since one of them was out. Right. So he was like, why is it staying on? Sir, I don't know. So what you give me a ticket? Like, what we doing? Right. Because I got to go home. I got to use it real bad. I've been out here in these streets since I got off at 4:30. Right. He was like, no, just go on. But yeah, you might need to see about that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out a reason for you.
Yeah. But I'm like, first of all, I am in a fish tank. Ain't no tent nowhere on my windows. Yeah, I know. What am I doing?
Yeah, they was fishing. You right, Forever Blooming Love. They was fishing. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't fit the description of nothing going on Campbellton Road. I don't even know what's going on Campbellton Road besides the food.
Either they was fishing or it was quota time.
Something. But 2 times in 1 week, you make me ride Marta.
2 times in one day.
Yeah, I'll ride Marta for the rest of the month.
Oh, ain't no quotas, but it is quota.
Something. But nah, you got me spooked now.
I'm telling you, it was weird. Because I'm the whole time I've ever lived on Campbellton Road, I have not been pulled over. Especially, like, I'm one of them kind of people where if I'm speeding or if I'm doing something wrong and I get pulled over, I can be like, okay, you got me. Right. With your dead ass, you got me. But if I ain't doing that, then of course I'm finna pull over and be like, what's up? Right. What are we doing? But both of them said the same thing. It was like, all right, it was just go on. So I didn't get a ticket. They were really nice, decent officers. But I'm just still trying to figure out, why would y'all mess with that little Sonata? Cause that little Sonata, I got that car because it's let me tell you something. I literally, I remember when I picked that car out, that's why I picked it out. Because I don't need nobody bothering me. And now they talking about they got a doing Hyundai and the Kill Challenge on freaking TikTok where the kids steal it. Please don't bother my little car, him. Right. I like the little car. I like the gas, the way it. Don't do that, him. Right. Leave my car alone.
But they getting them with the clubs and all.
Yes. They said that the
that don't mean nothing nowadays.
The Hyundais is over with. Yeah, they could just take them like they got keys.
Might as well leave the door open.
That was black.
With a welcome mat.
And they were handsome. That first one was real handsome. He was real handsome. That's why I think his name was Matthews. I don't even remember the second officer name. I don't think I asked him for his name. But yeah, the first one he was super. He was really nice though. Like when he noticed that wasn't a phone that he saw in my hand, you could kind of tell that he was like, oh hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he also saw that I wasn't making no noise or wasn't tripping to them. But he, you could just kind of tell. But I'm just thinking, what if it was somebody that was having a rough day, and they done pulled them over, probably ain't got no money to even think about paying for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all done pulled them over. They think they finna get a ticket. I can see how the PTSD and the anxiety can set in, and they could be like,
freak out.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you talk yourself into a ticket. With the actual, what you pulled me over for, and then they own you in like, okay.
You want
what's that I smell or something like that? Like, you got your license with you and all this. Start checking extra things. The thing wasn't even gonna check in the first place.
Seriously. So when you're being approached by officers too, and I always tell my son that. I always tell the that I'm like, son. When the police, because he done been pulled over before, and he always called me, and either me or one of my brothers will go and see about him or whatever. And the police always have said to me, he was all right. He did good. And it's so sad that we have to equip our children to even know how to get pulled over.
Right. Yep. If I get pulled over in Atlanta, I feel like I know I'm going to make it home. Probably College Park, East Point, the same thing too. But if you talking about Gwinnett, you talking
Douglas?
Oh, no. Carl Parkway and all that. I try not to get pulled over in that. I might have to Uber. I'm just saying, the Uber don't even get pulled over with that.
It ain't even about being scared, but when you have lived...
Avoiding it.
Yeah, when you have lived during the time where we purposely avoided these areas. Like for a very long time. Like, so when you've lived through it, and people that have gone through something. See, I'm one of them kind of people. I ain't got to go through it to know it's real. If I know you went through it, and I saw what happened with you when you went through it, I believe it.
Right. Yep.
Ain't gotta happen to me. I seen Douglas County give somebody 10 whole years for an ounce of reefer. You think I gotta go through that?
Whew, nah.
The police chief is black and the mayor is black, but them judges still from
Come on now,
the 50.
Man. I told y'all I had jury duty, right? So I had jury duty. Yeah, I had jury duty.
They never get me for jury
week.
duty, by the way.
Really?
No, I never get. Last time I tried to go to jury duty, I thought the sheriff was gonna damn near try to lock me up. She was like, "What you doing here?" Straight up. And I had to show her my little jury badge. I got scared. I was like, okay, hey, I can go.
Let me tell you something. Representation is everything, and we need to be there. And I'm just telling you that for the county that you live in, we need to be accounted for. We need to be present. Representation is everything.
You're the one had that talk last night.
I tell people all the time.
We need to be present. Like
we need to be there.
It wouldn't be going on if we were more
I promise you.
With them council meetings, all the zoning meetings, all that stuff.
Representation is everything, and I'm emphasizing that even more now with the experience that I had. First of all, I always get jury duty, but I'm hardly ever picked.
Wow, okay.
So the very first thing I want to talk about is how much they paying. $25 for a whole day.
Yeah.
The county's got to do better too. Because if you got a job that does not pay for jury duty, but you want to be a juror, but all you gonna get is $25 and you gonna miss work.
You taking a loss.
Like They're gonna have to do better than that.
Right.
Now for Douglas County, it's like $35. I think they're the only one that went up.
$35 a day, though?
That's lunch and gas,
a day.
basically.
And keep in mind, when you are, this is the thing, when you're on jury duty, you have to pay for your own lunch and stuff. They don't provide you no food or nothing. Fulton County is terrible because it said cafeteria. And I went there and was like,
a vending machine.
It was 2 vending machines.
See?
And I was like, y'all don't sell food, so where we go for food? And they was like, you have to bring your food. Well, they didn't put that shit on the jury level.
Nope. And then they be checking your bags and all that
That's
anyway.
what I'm saying. They got to breathe all over my little cell.
Kayla say she never gets picked for jury duty, but she want to.
Yeah.
I don't.
But at least if you show up, you got a greater chance. I always say at least just show up, because there's a lot of people ain't showing up for their jury duties because they have all, if you think about the people before us, honestly, jury duty was thought of as, damn, I don't want to go to jury duty. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not so much as a bad thing, but it had a negative connotation. Well, I ain't registered to vote because they going to call me for jury duty. Right. I feel like if we change the narrative of all of that, then then we'll have a better understanding of why we need to be there. And if you've ever had a person, if you know anybody that has ever gone through a trial, then you know the importance of having the right people there. That's just like with the lady that I was a juror for, which of course I can't give a whole lot of information, but it was a black lady going up against a white man that felt like he hit her from behind, but felt like it was her fault because she didn't stop fast enough.
Wow.
What?
Right.
So you feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What? She didn't stop fast enough. How fast did she stop?
But if she would stop fast, then you would have said she stopped too fast.
That's what I'm saying. So I was confused. But the whole point of the matter is, representation was everything for her with us. Because it was some jurors. Well, I mean, it was kind of her fault. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I'm like allergic to the courtroom. I just had to throw that out there.
Oh, I don't like to be there either now.
Hey, so
But you build a relationship with some of those judges and it's beneficial. Because these judges are elected to be in OCs. So you build a relationship with them and it may be some other things that they can help you out with. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. Like, you got to look at it as if, okay, you're a person to remember. Look at all your tattoos. So you know if a judge see you, get what they going to think.
Mr. Dickens, you here again in front of me?
Right. But look, they're going to remember you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to remember you. So if you need, say for instance, your daughter had an interest in something dealing with the judicial system. Guess what you could do? Send an email directly to that judge and say, hey, I'm Mr. Dickens. I'm the one. I sat on the jury during this day. You may not remember me, but in the event that you do, I wanted to see what you could help me and my daughter with.
Right.
My daughter has an interest in the judicial system, and that's not my lane.
Right.
That's not what I do, but that's what you do, and I know that you would love to see the youth get involved in something positive.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Forever Blooming Love said she moved past the waiting room for court jury duty, but then when she got to the case, she found out it was on an old classmate.
Oh
yeah, and then you could that happens too. But this is the thing. That's just like right now they can't even find jurors for Young Thug trial.
Yeah, I think that's definitely not in there. Hey, everybody know about it, so.
Well, not just that, but who finna take off of their job for moms at $25 a damn day?
Right. My bills, they gonna say, oh, you're a jury duty.
Right. Like it was, and they're telling you that this is what's gonna happen for this amount of time, and you just thinking about it now for somebody who maybe don't need it. Pick them. Get one of them to do it. But the people that actually need to be there, that could give a realistic outcome for him. Because even if you over 70, you don't have to do jury duty at all.
Wow.
So these are the only people that's retired, because the retired age is what? 65, 70, right? So, yeah.
Well, I can't lie. I probably would want to show up if they paid me what I stand to lose at my job.
At my job.
And I still get that paid time off. Yeah, man, I'd be out there looking for jury duty. Who got that jury duty?
It's got to be something. it's got to be something. Ain't nobody doing this for $25 a day, and you literally are there all day.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't get out of jury duty till 6 o'clock.
Wow.
Both days, and we was there early, like 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Yep. I was trying to stay awake so I could hear my name. That was about it.
I'm telling you.
When I heard it, I was like, "Oh, I get to go." Okay.
Yeah.
But the last time I had jury duty, it was supposed to show up at about like maybe 9. So right around 8:30, 8:45, they called me and was like they didn't need me. So
yeah, they
had a free day off.
Yeah, they do that too. I don't know how they picked me. I think it was because of what I do on my regular job. Honestly, I think that was part of the reason why they actually chose me to be, the juror. But it was a very good experience. I enjoyed the experience. Like I said, I've always been chosen to go to the jury duty, but for some unknown reason, my group or class or whatever it is don't ever get picked, so I don't have to stay. And you call the day of. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, if you work with me, I had to stay all day, by the way. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, like, that's how it is, like, now. Like, trust me, it has changed significantly since 2020.
K-Lady say Douglas County requires you to call in every day.
Damn.
Really? I could believe that, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
different
things
counties
have changed tremendously since COVID anyway. Yeah, they have changed. So, we have tapped in to the conversation about Tyre Nichols and just some of the things that we felt should have been an indication that they were going too far. We felt like somebody should have said something.
Yep.
And the most disheartening thing about this whole situation to me is when I heard his mama's video and I posted it on my page. And she was awakened at 4 o'clock in the morning by the Memphis, Tennessee police force, and they was telling her that her son was locked up. He was in custody. And she was like, for what? Like, what are you talking about? 4 o'clock in the morning? You knocking on my door to tell me my son in custody? Only to tell me that you don't have a whole lot of details, but before he goes to jail, he's at the hospital. But you can't see him at the hospital because he's in custody.
Right.
So you just got to wait it out and wait for us to call you.
Right.
So how that was handled in itself was a whole issue because what?
Yeah, that's vague, by the way. So it leaves
and
all
to look
these
at
holes.
The pictures of him in the hospital, you know damn well he couldn't call his mama.
Right.
Oh, and the father said he took those pictures, kind of like sneaking it, so that he can
because he was confused.
Let people see what's going on.
Y'all telling us our son in custody, he ain't even breathing on his own.
Right.
Well, what? So how we go from he's in custody to he's at the hospital? But of course, the mother's intuition is, let me go and see about my child, cause what are they talking about? Last
She
time
said that the hospital called her and say, Miss Nichols, your son, why you ain't down here? Basically.
Thank you.
Right.
And she's like, well, they told me I couldn't come. But you see how fast she got there? She wanted to be there. Already dressed, ready. I guess I'll just see her. And one thing about older black people, we kind of tend to take people for their words. Like, we don't, it's not like the generations now where they question everything and they trying to get an understanding. If the police comes to a person 50 or older, most times, they're going to take the police word for it because they trust them.
Yeah.
Well, the police said I couldn't come to the hospital.
Right.
The people at the hospital like, no, you better get here.
Right.
Because we don't know what we looking at. We don't know what's going on. But we know this how they brought your son and him.
One thing I would like to say, though, is based on what the police were telling these parents and based on what the parents instilled in their child, they knew it sounded bogus.
Exactly.
So they knew they could start questioning, and that's what good parenting also can lead to. And it just shows. It's sad that we had to see his parents as far as in this light having to show up because of this situation. But we can't always just say that our parents ain't gonna be there for us, or they're not capable of supporting us, or not capable of knowing. This right here just showed me, that they were there and trying to find out exactly what happened, and you can see, based off what the police were saying, they weren't going for that.
They weren't. And I'm glad they weren't. See, that's the thing. Like, they knew it didn't sound right, but at the same time, it's like, okay, we don't really question authority, you know what I'm saying, like that, because we trust authority. But then it was like, what is really going on? So they having all of these mixed emotions as parents, right? And what really got to me was to hear people blame all of this whole situation on single parenting, single mother parenting, and I'm like, what? That's what you got out of that. That was, and this is his stepfather, by the way. That it don't matter. But no. The whole point of the matter is representing that.
Exactly.
He's present. He's the one that, like you said, snuck and took the pictures. So this is somebody who clearly cares. This is somebody who is taking a great deal of time out with him, and who knows, his biological father may be deceased, could be active. We don't know, and it shouldn't even matter, because guess what? He has representation right here that's supporting his mother the entire way through whatever we got going on right now. He ain't just started supporting her.
Right.
Yeah, but we could be talking about the parents of the police officers that sat up there and beat this man. And then out of 9 people, could any one of them, imagine just putting them there, do you think that they would want to see their mother or their father or their brother or their sister, because any one of their relatives, do you think that they would want to sit there and look at that be done to them? So why would you do it to somebody
else? Exactly. My thing is, I don't know, it gets real tricky when I hear people talking about the single parent home, the single, and they usually say the single mother homes, because they feel like the single father homes kind of produce better children than the single mother homes. And I posted on Facebook about maybe a couple of days ago, and the video was of basically of a young lady saying that she used to be so jealous of people. She would get so angry when people would be like, well, at least you got your daddy. And she said it used to make her so angry because she was like, I don't even like him. Like the stuff that he doing to us, like, what happened in our house stays in our house. That was the mentality that her mother had. But now that she's grown, now she's trying to heal and find her way through this whole, and you can tell that she's still protecting her father to a certain extent, because he's still daddy. But she's letting people know, just because it's a 2-parent home don't make it not broken.
Exactly.
Like, I'm a result of a person that is traumatized from a 2-parent home, and we saw our daddy do so much. So I had one dude to come on saying she ungrateful. You heard her say he took care of them, and I responded back to him and said, it's fathers like you that don't realize it takes more than money to take care of your children. It takes more than money to take care of your children. If all you want to do is put money down and not nothing else, you might want to find something better to do. You don't need to be parenting, because that ain't parenting. And just because you in the house, if you in the house full of children, this woman, I think this young lady said it's about 3 or 4 of them in the house, right? Mama same daddy.
Okay.
They're exposed to all kinds of stuff. And only thing that a person listening to it could come out with is, she said he took care of them.
Okay.
What? Ain't show, and see, that's the problem that I have, because ain't showed up to school, ain't showed up to the school, ain't took nobody to the doctor, ain't took nobody to the dentist, ain't took no.
Yeah.
And all you can say is, well, at least he was a provider.
Nope. You got to instill morals, values.
Thank you.
You have to teach them what school doesn't even teach them.
Exactly.
About experiences and life. A lot of the times, believe it or not, whether you want them to have it or not, they're going to inadvertently have most of the traits that you have, because they're right there looking at you. Exactly. And if you're absent,
and DNA don't lie.
Nope.
Let me tell you something. DNA don't lie, and it don't fall too far.
Nope.
And that's the part that a lot of parents ain't really tapping into.
I don't get it because, man, my daughter is an extension of me. That's my blood. That's my future. That's my mini-me. I'm going to do what I can to make sure she's straight. Exactly. And then I don't want her mom so far, like, out there struggling to make it so that it's harder for my daughter. Even if I'm not with her,
it makes sense.
Why you want them to struggle out there? Why you want them to be exposed to something they don't necessarily have to be?
Parenting don't stop at 18.
Nah, I'm a parent till I die.
Exactly. Like, that's the part I don't understand. Like, the people, that's who really scare me.
Hey, man.
The people that think it stopped at 18.
No. When I'm 60 and 70, so I'm gonna be telling my daughter, hey, well, you might have to get on this AARP when you my age. Do this so you ain't gotta retire, so you can retire young, you know. And
let me explain.
Put your money here. Do that. Do this.
I look at the relationship that I had with my mama before she left here. Mm-hmm. She was still one thing about being you're not grown, you're growing. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always call my children young adults, because you're growing, you're continuously growing. I don't care if you're 80. Mm-hmm. You're growing.
You're always learning.
You're always learning. You're always, like, that's just a part of what life gives. That's a part of what it is.
Yep.
So when you just kind of like leave your children out there to fend for themselves, and this has nothing to do with money, by the way.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times our children making a lot of them gonna make way more than we have and will, way faster than we have and will.
Right.
So that ain't even the guidance that they need.
Nope.
They need the guidance of, well, Daddy, what do you think? You think this is a good investment? Daddy, you feel what you think about this? Like, they need to have that safety net to know I can go to my daddy and my daddy anything. Mm-hmm. Even if he don't know, my daddy could be like, well,
we're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure this thing out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? We can look into this together. Let me know what you find out, and I'll let you know what we find out. Let me know for lunch Tuesday. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
man, I talked to my daughter about this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, she's always going to be current, and I value what she says. I'm one of the people that you keep the gap, you bridge the gap between your elders, me, and then my youth. I don't distance myself, so I keep elders in my circle, because I don't know what my body gonna feel like when I'm 65 or 70, but my uncles can tell me, hey man, this is what's gonna happen to you. If this happens, you need to do this, do that.
Exactly.
And you pass that on to your youth.
That's right. But they don't understand, because like I said, when I think about just with my relationship with my mom and my uncles and stuff like that, like, my relationship was dope, and they kept pushing that wisdom. They kept instilling in us, well, dang, Donnie, you ain't have to go off like that. And I respected that.
Yeah.
Because, boy, who?
Well.
Oh, I did. How bad I went off, Mom? Girl, you did. You went too far. Dang, for real, Mom, what I say? But she would check me. You understand what I'm saying? In a healthy way, and be like, next time, don't do it like that. Yep. Like, you might want to handle it like that, because you got to go back up to school. You got to go back up to school. I know you ain't really like her, but right. Mm-hmm. And I could be like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But to just think that the parenting stop at 18, that's the sickness.
But look, and you shouldn't always be like, I'm going to kick my child out. He got to find his own, he or she got to find his own way at 18. Because look at it like this. When you raise them from the baby to 16, 17, 18, were they living on their own? They barely could even cook. They might not even. You can't even work till 15 with one of them job permits. So they supposed to just jump out there full fledged, have some money for a car, house, car insurance, all this money with a what kind of job? Sometimes they got to go to school for the 4 years or even more to get the career. Yeah. But you want them out there, boom, just living by themselves.
I'm gonna tell you what got me. I heard somebody say, oh, they got to do some. When they turn 18, they got to do some. And I'm okay with them needing to do something. Mm-hmm. My thing is, at 18, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do.
Exactly.
I was confused. I had a job.
Yeah.
But the one thing that helped me, that I can clearly recall helped me, was my Uncle Yunt. My Uncle Yunt was married to my Auntie Jackie. Mm-hmm. And with our family, you never know who's married in and who's not, because everybody is one peeing apart. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that my Uncle Yunt said to me was, he was like, he just had a conversation with me. He said, you don't know what you want to do? I was telling him, I said, well, at the time, I said, I know I want to do something with criminal justice. I said, the only thing is, though, man, I just really don't want to give my mama, you know, like anxiety and all this fear and stuff like that, because I had just lost my dad years, you know, a few years prior, working in law enforcement. Yep. So when I finally found something that I wanted to do, I was excited, and I told my Uncle Young, I was like, I figured out what I want to do. Only to find out my eyesight wasn't good enough for it. Oh. So, but he was the kind of person where he was like, well, shoot, man, we gonna figure this thing out. Like, he constantly, I ended up going to school on the Humbug, going to Georgia State on the Humbug, because I didn't know my daddy had left all these resources for us. We had no clue. Our mama with one trip, and she was just like, well, shoot, if I can get a payment plan, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she was saying. She like, shoot, our daddy, you know, he left enough for me to be able to put some aside every month or every 2 weeks, whatever, for y'all to, you know, whatever y'all need to do. Like, that's the kind of mother she was. So when we were blessed with the scholarships and the this and the that and all those other things, she was like, whoa, what? Okay. You know, she was excited about it, but it didn't matter. Because she was going to make it do what it do anyway. But yeah, it was people like my Uncle Young that actually instilled, just talked to me and was like, okay, so if you want to do that, you might want to go this route. You might want to go that route. So that's why I say, like, when you're in a position to be to a young adult what you needed at their age,
like a mentor and guide them. Yeah.
Big. You ain't gotta even if they just come to you and ask you certain things, they're trusting you. They're trusting you to have the you know, not necessarily the right answer, but the best judgment for what they're trying to do. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
I always try to lead by example, because I know I represent my daughter and my daughter represents me too.
Exactly.
So I got a child. I'd be like, man, I got a child. So I don't want her out there doing some crazy stuff, or I'm doing some crazy stuff and it's reflecting on her. Like, damn, man, your daddy out there wilding. You know what I'm saying? Then she got an answer to that, and it's basically contradicting what I'm trying to teach.
Trying to instill. Exactly. So that's why, like, it's okay. It's cool to me to tell your children they got to do something. I get that part of it. But don't push them to a point where they start being resentful
or stressed.
Because you got them stressed out. Exactly. Because
being
at 18, we didn't.
Too.
Exactly. Because once you get 18, I'm gonna be honest with you. All my kids, when they turned 18, they wasn't happy about that shit.
No, it's like that's the real woke right there. Reality done kicked in.
Yeah, that was like they didn't like that. I promise. Like, it was so weird. My mom was like, dang, they was not happy about that.
Right.
And she was like, I get it. She said, because they ain't had to be adults. Like, children their age, they've had to tap into that adulthood.
Nope.
Your children haven't had to tap into it. So when you go to telling them the responsibilities of turning certain ages, they panic. Like, oh no, I don't want it. I even last year on Real's birthday, I was like, how do you feel? She was like, Mama, I don't feel it. I don't like it. I don't like none of it. I was like, what? She was like, I mean, I appreciate my gifts and stuff. She was like, but I don't know. I don't know. So I understood. Right.
It's just time to have memorable moments now.
Right.
Like, that's what an adult is.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, you making memories. Like, you know, you doing this, you doing that. And she was like, yeah. She was like, but this comes with more responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And now this, that, and the third. So I understand where they are when it comes to the anxiety of getting older and all of that stuff. I just want them to just embrace life and know that it comes. Look, it's
that's what I instilled in my daughter.
This.
Be happy that you're morphing and progressing into who you're going to be, and just make sure that you're able to support yourself.
Absolutely.
Try to stay healthy and just watch out. Like, just watch out for people maybe trying to harm you or take from you. And then enjoys life. She's 19.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so she right there at that course too.
Yeah, in college.
Where, so she just kind of like, okay, like that. I'm trusting you. Now, you told me to take it easy. I'm trying to do, but you know they really at a very vulnerable age, and you know it is
impressionable age.
Very
too.
Impressionable.
You know, and this is the age, and that's why as a parent I'm really like focused, and I tell her I'm with you every step of the way, because at this age you're making the decisions that's going to affect you for the rest of your life.
You are.
So why would I let you have to fall back and do something over or twice, or make a decision or a mistake that's going to cost you further on down the road, and you have to like live an extra 10 years just
to
make
recover from it.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I try to instill in my children too. Like you gotta know that black men and women can't mess up. That's what we can't do.
You ain't got many tries and chances to do that.
We don't have the privilege of keep going, keep doing the same thing and being stupid and just making the same mistake. We don't have that.
Nope.
So you have to be realistic, and that's one of the things that bother me. Like I said once again about the parenting and co-parenting, and most of the time the non-custodial parent don't understand that it don't stop.
Thank you. And so with that being said, how I look at it is, if both parents mean well for their child, then you should be so focused on trying to instill some of the mistakes that you made for them not to do in your child that you ain't got time to be bouncing negative energy off of what the mom or the father ain't doing. You should just be like, hey, well, you're going to have to experience that, but with me, I'm going to try to do the best I can with you. I don't have time to be sitting up here critiquing someone else when I can critique myself and do what I need to do.
Right. But you know, a lot of times, and I can be honest with you, it's not that easy, and I understand that. I totally understand that to a certain extent. But when the focus is the child or the children, it makes a difference. Because it's a lot of things. Like I'm one of them mothers where I don't want to project my personal feelings about my kids' fathers. I don't want to project that on my children. So I just kind of be quiet most of the times. But now that they're older, they see that I just really don't like the men that I have kids with. And I'm okay with them seeing that now because I didn't do it when they were much younger. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like I made sure that was whatever feelings they had towards their daddies. Was their own. It was their own.
Form their own opinion.
Yeah, because my oldest three have the same daddy, and then my youngest daughter has her own daddy. Okay. So so that's why I was like, the older three, they didn't even know I didn't like their daddy to this year. Like 2023. They was like, you didn't? I was like, no, your daddy died in my mind years ago. They was like, what? I was like, yeah. But and they understood why though.
And I was going to say, the fact that you said they didn't know shows kind of you got some class. Like, if they can't tell that y'all didn't really rock, then you ain't putting nothing negative out there.
Yeah, they didn't really, I promise you. Actually, maybe 2022, but yeah, for the most part, it was like the latter part of 2022. That's when they figured it out. Because I, like, as far as speaking ill and stuff like that, I can do a story time on TikTok now because they're older. Like Adonis 23, the girl's 21. Whatever feelings they got, they gonna have them regardless.
Exactly.
So I'm good with that. But I can write a book on co-parenting with a nut.
Co-parenting with a nut, with a cashew.
Seriously. Oh, co-parenting with a cashew. Don't y'all better not steal my. Y'all better not steal it. No, seriously. Because it was different. And I was like, maybe I'm tripping. So as y'all very well see, I have a whole notebook of notes, right?
Okay.
So I do this at home too.
I got my notebook.
Yeah. So like when I have a conversation with their daddy, you can look at my notebook and see how far left it went from the beginning to the end. And it's like, so how do we even get there, sir? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? And we was a couple before we had kids. So it ain't like I had a one night stand and I had no, seriously. So cause you know sometimes you be like, oh, you should have known. And it's like,
Not really.
I didn't know. I thought he was normal. Right. Now, and I can honestly say I was tripping in my 20s too, because there was a lot of things that I missed. And by him being like 30 when we had Adonis, because he was much older than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I missed it. I missed a lot of it. So now that I go back and think about it, I'm like, woo, baby. I just hope and pray that my girls don't do what I did. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly don't think that they would, because they're at the age now where they would be doing it. Because I think I met their daddy when I was like 20. Yeah, so it would be, but they have a better understanding of how things go, which is really, really good, because now with technology and all this other stuff, they get a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? Better, but way better than we did. Because you think about us at 2021. We ain't have all this.
No. Co-parenting, for me, it's just made it easier and better for me to communicate with my daughter. And then the main thing I learned from that was your actions speak louder than the words.
Absolutely.
I don't have to say nothing about nobody. I just got to take care of somebody that's important to me, and that's what's gonna mean the most.
You would think that would. When is your birthday?
September
what?
The 8th.
You're a freaking Virgo.
Everybody say that.
That's my daddy's birthday.
And V, that Virgo.
That's my daddy's birthday. September 8th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and my youngest daughter is September 9th. But the thing about y'all are, you're logical though. I'm out here co-parenting with a damn Scorpio and a Leo. And I know y'all don't think that make a difference. But it do. The Scorpio is always trying to get his lick back. And I don't never know what the hell I done did to even deserve the lick back.
Wow.
The Leo just out here lying. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm gonna come get you.
Right.
And it's like, dude, you didn't even have to say that. You could have just said.
Them Leo's aggressive.
Yeah, so it's weird. This is what I'm out here dealing with. So I say all that to say this: if you have a parent that's willing to like co-parent and make it easy, please by all means accept it and appreciate it.
Be less arguments, less stress. Things gonna go your way.
Forever Blooming said, "Don't do us like that." I guess she mean Leo.
She may be a Leo or a Scorpio, but neither one of those signs or
do
Taurus.
It like that.
They say what that Taurus doing.
The Taurus.
Man, the parents say what that Taurus doing.
Baby, Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo. They be like, hey, ma'am, how you doing? I be like, when is your birthday? Because if they say, ain't one of them days.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean no harm.
All right.
You know, but I don't deal with you people. They be like, what? You mean you 45 and you still going off signs and heels and wheels.
Vibes and everything. Vibes and all that birthdays.
All that.
Yep.
I use all that.
Let me see your hand. Turn it over.
Exactly. I'm using your hand trail. I do all of that. At the first sign of hello. So don't even speak to me.
If that bloodline broke.
Hey.
Don't even speak to me, because I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm not taking you through no extra trauma, and I don't want you to take me through none. So once we get through them first 2 days of figuring out when your birthday and your son and all that matter to me. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm gonna say. I do like that about the new generation, boy. They got these reading skills.
Oh yeah.
They'll read somebody. I'm like, I can read you too.
Right.
Old school read.
Right.
Okay, bet. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Write a book on you.
And I deal with you.
All Man Pearl said the Tauruses get it done. And then the Forever Bloomer said the Leos are beautiful people.
Oh, they sure are.
Let me just say this:
like lionesses and lions.
Right, I'm not
drama.
I'm not into women. So when I speak on these astrological signs, it's for the men.
Oh,
the women are usually okay because I don't have to deal with them anyway romantically. But the men for those signs, I'm sorry. No, it's a no for me. I'm just sorry.
That's a no.
If you,
she didn't say Virgo.
No, just Taurus,
okay,
Leos, and Scorpios.
All right.
I don't. Y'all have to get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to even make you feel like this is a safe place.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. Nope.
Well, so far for 2023, I'm welcoming all signs.
Yeah. But so...
I'm going to try to learn from them, but I will distance myself if they ain't about nothing.
Well, one thing about Virgo men, let me just say this, because Virgo men are different. I have a brother that's a Virgo man. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I like about you all take your titles seriously. So that's why when you say the kind of father you are, I can definitely believe that that's the kind of father you are, because most Virgo men are serious about their titles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You say I'm a brother. Oh, let me show you what brothers do. Mm-hmm. You say I'm somebody's daddy. Oh, okay. Let me show you what daddy do. That's just, you say I'm somebody's son.
Even if we gotta research,
you. Yes,
we'll do that.
So that's right. One thing about Virgo men that I just would never take away from you guys. Y'all are good, but y'all attract
craziness. I'll finish it for you. Yeah, look at her like she look like she didn't even want to say it.
And
trust me, I know, because it be bouncing all off me. I don't either sometimes.
Yeah, but, y'all attract the most.
I just try to take it
extra women, and it's like, how the hell you attract? Because most of y'all are laid back. Yeah. But then when I think about it, my mama was a Leo, my daddy was a Virgo, and my mama was extra. So she wasn't the crazy, but she was extra.
Extra. Yeah. I like extra sometimes.
That's the
hey. Now you know, but
tell you, y'all enjoy the extra. The only thing is though, it has to be a balance.
Yeah, you can't go too far with
it has to be a balance, because what happens is with the extra, for you all, it'll start canceling out stuff.
Yeah, that's how we do, because we got to balance that thing.
Yeah, it'll start canceling out.
Too much of this, and I'm like,
missed out.
To the side.
Yeah, and y'all will be done missed out on who could have been your forever.
But I give you a little bit of time to work on it now. You know, we patient.
Now y'all are.
But I can see the end anyway.
But y'all overthinkers.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, like y'all overthinkers. So
I'm in 2024 right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like you already ahead. So it's like you got to find somebody that can either not so much as pull you back to where you need to be, but in a sense to kind of like keep you focused.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're gonna be.
I'm like a boomerang. Just throw me out there, but you got to be right there so I can come back. If you move over there, I guess I might not come back till you come.
Right.
So, but
and that's just what it is, and that's the one thing that I love about Virgo men.
Slick say men want drama till they get it.
Exactly.
Want drama till they get it.
They do.
All men apparel say he.
Now, see, I ain't say I want no drama. I said I like extra. You see what I'm saying?
Said he not. All men apparel say he not romantic at all. He's just straightforward.
He's a Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taurus are really mean. They're mean, and they're not romantic. And no,
he might have to brush up on some romance. Though. No, he can learn that from a Virgo.
Yeah. But a Taurus man would do good with a Virgo woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not with my fiery Aries ass, no.
Well, yeah.
Because
you close to Pisces, right?
Yeah. So.
Pisces. Whoa. Okay, now.
Yep.
Slick is a Pisces. I'm an Aries, and I.
Y'all the same.
Yeah. Well, to a certain extent.
Y'all can get there.
But like.
They can get there.
They can get there quick.
The Tauruses don't really. They don't go well with Aries. Period. Because of the simple fact, most Taurus men are mean. Like they may not, they think it's straightforward,
what they mean,
but it's mean.
Straight, no chaser.
Yeah, and it's like my way or the highway.
That's exactly what he said. He said like it or leave it.
Yeah, and I'd rather leave it. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna get out of there.
And they're gonna have to accept that.
Much problem. No, I said, Chaz, we just sit back.
Well, Sags, let me just say this. Sags are fiery too. And one thing about y'all impulsive. That means that you all make the craziest decisions and then have to sometimes go back and redo them.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Yes, y'all are impulsive to the max. Like my cousin that's a Sagittarius, like, and she overthinks everything.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah. She overthinks everything. She'll be like she'll be doing good. Her and her dude, they doing good the whole week. Come Saturday, she's like, Wednesday.
Yeah,
I remember him. I remember him saying,
that must have been on your mind.
Right. And I'd be like, Cole, why?
It was on Friday.
Well, I'm just not thinking about it, and I'm like, it happened Tuesday. We're at Saturday.
It don't matter.
And
we so busy.
Yes, and until it's addressed or until she get the satisfaction she need,
gonna be a problem.
Yeah, she gonna be hell to deal with, and it's just like it is. Like we know this, like we know it, but yeah. So it's it get kind of tricky when it comes to the zodiac signs and stuff like that. But I'm one of the people that do that do take it serious. Like those are 3 people that you don't have to worry about me showing no love or interest.
What's the 3 people again?
I might have to write this down.
It's a Taurus.
You said a Taurus. Hold on. Well, okay, what's the other one?
I want you to capitalize.
I need to bold, right? Italicize or bold?
Capitalize Scorpio.
Scorpio. All right.
You yelling it.
I do not deal with them, period.
Get over here.
And then
it's not that
it's the Leo.
Okay.
And a Leo.
You can put that one in Leo. And the L, capital L with a little E and a little O is okay.
So
they just be lying.
The Taurus you gotta just.
Yeah, Taurus is you can use a you can just do that lowercase all the way across because Taurus is okay. They just mean, and I don't like mean.
So them Leos be lying.
Yeah, the Leos they lying.
Well, I know I'm into the zodiacs, but it doesn't matter to me. It ain't gonna be no deal breaker.
Oh yeah, it's a deal breaker for me. Yeah. For those 3. Now for the rest of them, no, it's not.
I do be keeping my eye on them Geminis though.
You know what's so weird about Geminis and Virgos is that you all, when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it's good, it's good. But when y'all have a hard time dealing with both sides of the Gemini.
And it's funny you mention that because my daughter's a Gemini and I ain't seen but one side.
Yeah, you will hardly ever see the other side of her. Okay. The person that will see the other side of her will have to be a person she's romantically connected with.
And if she get angry with somebody too, she can.
Yeah,
I seen it.
Well, yeah, you can see the difference there, but I promise you, like the Geminis don't start Gemini until it becomes a romantic.
A trust with something. Okay.
Yeah. Now with you probably won't see the other side of Gemini. That's Daddy. No.
It's funny that you said, and
Daddy no.
I'm definitely believing that because I have a friend who dated a Gemini, and the stuff that they were saying, I was like, damn, I hope I don't seem nothing like that around me. And I'm glad it went, but I was like, okay. So they be having them secret double lives,
right? And it's not even on purpose. It's in them.
Oh, okay.
But it usually only come out for the romantic. That's why. So my best male friend is a Gemini, right? So when I hear people say certain things about him, I can't really. I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me because I don't know him romantically.
Exactly.
I know him from the friend standpoint. So when it's that type of relationship, I don't get what a person who's romantically connected to him get. You understand what I'm saying? So when people say that to me and they're like, well, he said such and such, he did such and such, it's a difference with me because I know the one from the friendship. I don't know him from the romantic side. So I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't know.
So what we saying is Gemini's pillow talk be something serious.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, one thing I will tell you is, so what I learned about the one is he loves to talk on the phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about caking. I have seen this man. Let me tell you something. Me and the one, and when you have friends like this, that's why I say it's a balance there. Me and the one have gone shopping, out to eat, and he been on the phone with the same girl the whole time. He'll be like, let me see your battery pack. Like, he been on the phone with this chick the whole time. I don't even know if she even know I'm with her. No, he gonna talk on that phone. He gonna talk on that phone. And I love it because guess what? I ain't no phone talker. Right. That's just let people know he would never make it with me, no way. Right. So when people ask him, well, why don't you date your best friend? And he looking at them like, what? He was like, no, No. She is the total opposite of me.
Right.
We wouldn't work. I ain't on no phone. I ain't talking on no phone. I ain't doing all that. So it's certain things. Like me and this man, I am not playing. We have gone shopping. We done gone grocery shopping, out to eat. All these different places. He's still on the phone with the same woman. And then 30 days later, I'll be like, what happened to the old girl? Oh man, I don't know. You know
got her hustle.
But then when I see her, when I see her, girl, the one something else. And I'm like, what him? Well, you ain't tell me such and such and such. And I'm like, baby, I didn't know. That's not what. Hey man, I only knew about y'all because y'all was on the phone while we was having the whole day of getting stuff out the way. That's just how it is. Geminis are good people, but with Virgos, y'all are patient enough to deal with them to a certain extent, but romantically, I don't know.
All men apparel say Taurus are loyal. He said he's been married for 26 years and never cheated.
Let me tell you something. They are.
I might have to get some tips from him now.
Now I can be honest. Now Taurus women, you will love a Taurus woman. You will even love an Aries woman because we share a lot of the same traits. But Taurus women are just kind of a little more meaner than us. But
I like them mean sometimes if they're gonna be mean to somebody trying to talk to them, not mean to me though.
But see, that's me. That's the trait of an Aries. Now if I deal with you, I'm not mean to you. But I might come off mean to somebody who don't know me personally. You understand what I'm saying?
But you could be guarding your space though, and your peace.
Exactly, because I'm super stiff. When men try to come for me, I'm super stiff. They be like, God damn, cuz. I'm like,
it takes something to move you, but that makes sense. Make them work for something. Oh, okay. Not no mush in the face now. See her own security. That's what you say.
For real. And men be like, you alright? You just bitter. And I'm like, bitter from what? You think I let a man get that close to me, but he made me bitter?
Exactly.
No.
You can't even talk to me.
Right. So you're gonna have to find another word, okay?
Right.
Because I'm not bitter. But and then a lot of people will think that with me, I think my children's father was just 2, and then I had so in my adult life I've only had 4 boyfriends. And I'm 45. So so it's kind of, I don't think it's that many. I ain't never been married to any of them. I never wanted to take it that far. I just ain't never. And most people are like, oh, she lying. I'm like, out of those 3, I've been proposed to 3 times. No, out of those 4, I've been proposed to 3 times. So no, I didn't want to take it that far. Marriage is just on a whole nother level to me. It's a whole nother. You have to trust somebody a lot to say I'm going to let them be my provider.
Yeah, because to me, that's what is most me being able to support for myself gives me the confidence that I have.
Right.
If I take that away, or it's just I was talking to a person not so long ago about being able to trust someone. And especially at my age right now, man, I don't know if I'm just willing to trust, hey, this person got me if I don't do it. If I didn't go in to work and I can't make it, they got me 100%.
Right. It's going to take some getting there. And
once you get there, though, don't count on it, though.
What?
No.
I was married for 25 years.
Okay.
At the 24th year, I discovered some stuff that broke my heart. So don't just think just because you was married a long time, it's all grapes and they gonna have your back, because that may not be the case. Love tends to blind you sometimes.
And I definitely agree with that, because that's what I'm saying. I'm one of them kind of people where I don't want to be blinded. I don't want that ain't the kind of love that I want. I don't want the kind of love that will make me not see who you are. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that kind of love. So I protect myself from even going that far, because
I learned my lesson.
Well, what I've been learning is, with me, it works as far as man, I just been going out with some of my friends, as far as I have female friends. And at first I thought, like, when I was younger, I was like, man, I can't have no best friends that's no women. Or
oh, yes, you can.
Exactly. I was like, what the hell was I thinking about when I was a kid? I'm missing out, man. I feel comfortable, like it's cool. Other women look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they offer to pay sometimes. Yeah. So.
You know how to treat women, and every avenue is not put in place to be explored romantically. I just don't think that.
No, you can learn from these women sometimes rather than always trying to conquer or get them in the bed. I mean, you know.
I totally agree with that. But you know, a lot of times, and that's why some men will be like, even now, my lady can't have no male best friend and all that kind of stuff. I run from them too, because one thing about it, my male best friend is your guide. Mm-hmm. He is the one that can tell you how to get in where you fit in. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? They can, like, even with DJ Lab, if I'm dating somebody and you look at DJ Lab as a threat, you got to go. Cause you need to be asking Lab, hey man, what I need to do?
Right.
What the girl like?
Yeah.
Right, like that exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you say anything got the way to me, anything sideways, and I'm like, nah.
So basically, the man has to trust you. You know what I'm saying? So with me,
you don't have to. I don't. That's like, I know this is kind of wrong, but I don't. Like, you know how some women will be like, men, they just gung-ho over men, and they just care what men think, and I ain't like that.
Well, I know I would trust my woman before I trust what another man in her company would do, though. Cause I am a man, I know how we think and get down.
Absolutely, but you know what type of woman if you know it was easy for you to hit your woman.
Oh yeah, then it ain't gonna be my woman. See, easy and woman, my easy and my woman.
Right. Exactly, but that's my whole point. If you have an idea of what it took for you to get your woman, and it wasn't that dang on easy, then you know
make me sweat. You know what I'm saying? Make me work for it. Make me, research what you like or whatever. Talk to you a little bit and listen to you.
Or either, like I said, ask the people that's around her. Like that's the golden ticket. Honestly, like that's just what it is. But to be a person that is sitting back thinking negative,
you want to be doing something all the time.
Exactly, like that's never going to work. So I'm not one of those women that kind of like for instance, when I go to the clubs and stuff like that, I don't care if I'm going prepared to have a good time, me and whoever I'm going with. I don't care if not one man speak or whatever. Like I ain't here for that. That doesn't matter. But a lot of women aren't like that. Like that's the reason that they're going. That's the reason that they're there. Me personally, I don't think my dude in the club.
Yeah, those kind of women sometimes like attention,
Correct, and I don't like that kind of attention. Like I'm one of them kind of people where I like attention from an individual. I don't have to have the attention from the world. Like shit, no. No.
I'd rather meet someone coming out of a library.
Thank you. A museum or something. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, me personally, I know my dude ain't in no club, because why would... What are you doing in there?
They just left the library and went to the club.
No, that's not what...
Research to see what club is the most lit in the library, you know what I'm saying?
Doing this thesis Exactly.
This dude that worked with me was like, he was asking me about dating sites and stuff. I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, I'm living vicariously through one of my friends through the dating sites, because I ain't getting on them. I don't know. I said... Me personally, I like the physical connection from the person, meeting them in person and stuff like that. So meeting them on the internet would not be my thing. But he was like, so you mean to tell me you totally against me and my wife been together such and such and such, and that's what we met, and da-da-da. And I was like, and I am not against it. Exactly. I don't ever want you to think that I am against it. Right. Because I'm not against it. I just know the way I'm set up, First of all, when I'm gonna have time to get on the app? What is this app called? What I got to slide left, I got to slide right. It's too much.
Up, down, right, left.
Yeah,
yep. It's a lot of them apps out there. It's a lot of them.
I'm not going through all of that, baby. Just let me meet somebody at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I don't know, but it ain't gonna be behind that keyboard.
I like meeting people in person simply because you can't have no filter on your face when I see you in person. And all this sparkle stuff that they got around them, and they look like something totally else when you see it, man.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Like, people really look totally different. And I think that's what get a lot of people about me, because I actually look like my pictures. I ain't, baby, you see that stomach? I'm going to have it when you see me. I ain't slimming it down. I ain't trimming it down. It's coming with me.
I come as advertised.
I'm telling you.
You know.
Hey, you see them glasses? I ain't taking them off.
Our man Apparel says there's no jealousy with him with male friends, and he says that he tells his to go mingle, find out who he is and what that person has in him.
He's been married 26 years.
Right.
His wife don't care nothing about no damn mingle.
She might go out and mingle. She
ain't mingling. If anything, like, she ain't tripping.
So let's mingle together then.
Yeah,
do
like,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
let's do something different.
I was married. I ain't want to go nowhere without my wife.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I just didn't. I feel like I had to. Like, this my person. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I feel like that's my person. Like, we together. Like, there's no place I need to go that you can't go. There's no place I'm going to go. Now, if you say to me, I don't want to go, that's cool. But the first thing I'm gonna say, you going? You going? And
okay,
well, I ain't gonna lie. I'll sponsor a girls trip or two. Yeah, y'all going out there and have some fun.
I've sponsored girls trip or two. I sponsored several girls trips while I was married.
There you go. Nothing happened on them trips. You say that like, and I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? You like, and I shouldn't have. Oh, hold up now. What I need to know. My bad. Hey. You gonna have me a stowaway. I've been mail myself to a location, be in the suitcase.
Let me just say, I am not sponsored any more girls trip. Get how you live.
Okay, get how you live.
Exactly.
Okay then.
You and the girls, like, for real.
Not on my.
Not on your dime,
crazy. I don't even do girls trips.
Okay.
I rather travel with my mate.
Yeah.
Bet.
You know what I'm saying? If I ain't travel with my mate, I'm gonna be with my kids. I'm gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? But no.
I think my marriage taught me a lot of things.
Hell yeah.
I hope it did.
Like we talked last week, like that. You can't expect nobody to love you like you love them.
No.
Like, it's just not possible. It's just not possible. You can't give nobody. You can't expect somebody to give you the same kind of love you give them. Like, that unconditional, like, they might not have it in them.
I was just about to say that. That's the thing. See, I'm a lover I'm a lover by nature. So my love is not dependent on you loving me back, or it's not dependent on money. It's not dependent on anything besides me and my feeling of loving you.
Yeah.
So where most men go wrong with that is they feel like if we get into an argument, I'll stop loving them. No. If we get into a disagreement, first of all, I don't even argue. If we get into a disagreement, more than likely, I'm just going to be like, okay, and keep it pushing. I'd probably be married like 2 hours and then we back friends again. So, like, that's just me, though. But in their mind, I don't know what the hell they think I'm doing for them 2 hours, but more than likely, I'm taking a nap. Because guess what? I need to recharge. Because, nigga, you done drained me.
Right.
Yeah.
You done got on my nerve. Right. But they don't really understand it. They so used to women going out doing the unthinkable, I guess. I don't know what women done did to y'all, but they don't really be expecting a response that I give. And then I'm cool with that. Cause I'm not finna beg nobody to let me be good to them. That's one thing I'm not gonna do.
Makes sense.
Right.
I don't.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't really have a love gauge meter, so I just go by how I feel. You know, I'm always, if I feel like I love someone, I'm always just gonna give them, you know what I'm saying? I put my first foot forward, my best foot forward, or I'm gonna put a whole bunch of effort into it, sometimes probably 110%. But if it doesn't bounce back, and I'm feeling, and in my conscience, if my conscience starts telling me, like, hey, I mean, some of this is in vain.
Right.
Like, I'm not even seeing it affect her in a positive way, or, you know, then I'm going to pull back and stop. You know, it's going to be amicable.
Pull back method, because I was, I'm in it. Like, I'm in it.
See, that's me. I'm all in.
I'm in it. Like,
but you're supposed to be in it.
I think so, too.
Yeah. But I learned how to pull back. Like, you know what? I ain't finna go. I ain't finna do all this. I'm not finna be the one doing everything. Like, it's not gonna happen.
And see, that's how I am. I'm not, like, because, I'm one of them kind of people, like, if I like you, we finna buy some stuff. We finna go. We finna do this. We finna do that. We finna have fun. But I don't see the reciprocation.
And when you gotta squint to see it, and if you starting to feel hurt or something, then just stop. You can easily pause that thing.
Exactly, because at that point, then now you're looking for something to be returned.
Exactly,
and it's like it's gonna affect your genuine heart, your genuinity.
You're gonna start sincerity, but then you'll be thinking that you start keeping tabs, and don't nobody want to do that.
And I definitely don't keep tabs. Like that is the most aggravating thing in the world to me, because guess what? I ain't gonna remember half the stuff I do for you. You know why? Because that ain't what I did it for.
Right.
I ain't even do it to remember.
Nope.
I did it because you know what? I felt good that day, and I wanted to do it.
And I thought about you.
And I thought about you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But most times so it get kind of tricky when it comes to to relationships and stuff like that. I know we didn't get a chance to really. Well, we did kind of tap into it, but not really about the 2-parent homes and how it's developing these teens and these young adults into a lot of the people that we're seeing that's honestly like making the news and all this other stuff is developing
so
adults that need to address some things.
Now, I would say we definitely, and that's very interesting, because it's like you have multiple ways of parenting now. You have 2-parent homes, you have like co-parenting, and then you have what would be considered a broken home. I think like the broken home would be more of a less communication, maybe animosity towards the mother and the father. The co-parenting can be maybe a little bit of confusion, but let's just say it's not going to be that volatile. So it's pretty cool. You can have some good co-parenting with the communication and stuff. And then the 2-parenting home. But now, just because both parents are in the home, like we were discussing, doesn't mean everything is peaches and cream. Exactly. It don't mean everything they love each other. Sometimes they together just because it's a child, which is
that's where the problem a lot of times come in, is when children realize that they're the only reason why their parents are still together. Because this is the thing, and like I tell anybody, I'm all for 2-parent. I'm all for 2-parent home. I'm not against that at all, but I'm more concerned with the
peace within that household.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with the products that are like what kind of parenting can I say? Like, I'm more concerned with the conducive parenting. I'm more concerned with the child that's actually getting what they need. I don't care about 1-parent, 2-parent, whatever, because it's a lot of successful people that don't have no parents. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for us to get judged so much about children coming from, the kind of home that children are coming from, and from people a lot of times, like I said, saying that, it's the single mothers that's doing this and doing that. You have to understand that, there are some bad apples in every section of the world. There's bad apples everywhere. But a lot of times, a lot of the single parent homes, they didn't have a choice. Right. Yeah. They just making do with what they, you know what I'm saying? Like, they making do with what was been dealt with to them. You think about the amount of men, and I'm not going to even say men, the amount of people that we have incarcerated that caused home to become broken, you know what I'm saying, a
separated.
A separated home. And you think about the ones that have been killed that
can't come back and can't instill any of the values in the child.
Exactly. So you think about all of those circumstances, and because it's just so disheartening to hear people say, well, yeah, he ain't had no daddy. Well, have you even looked into why he didn't have a daddy? Or why she didn't have a daddy? You know what I'm saying? Like, because most times people do the best that they can. And because it doesn't meet your standards doesn't mean that it's all wrong.
And not only that, okay, so I've known some people that didn't have a dad, and that didn't mean I treated them wrong or I didn't treat them, oh, he ain't got no dad, so now I'm gonna do all this and that to him so I can affect them. They're already affected by not having that parent.
Right.
So I think sometimes people are judging, or people talk about people sometimes, like inadvertently they may say something about the person's shoes, but because he doesn't have a dad, the mom's struggling, so can't get him, and they just, pumping things onto the child that they're not even, old enough, or they can't necessarily handle on their own. That's not right. So
and it's really discouraging too, because you think about the amount, because I know, like I said, I know several people. Because it wasn't uncommon to have your mom and dad in the same household when we were little. It wasn't uncommon at all.
It was kind of what it was, almost like it was supposed to be that
right, way. It was supposed to be that way, because you think about the TV shows that were on back then and how things were set up, like it was just what it was. Like most times you had a mother and a father. But you also have to think about this. I remember one time the Taras that I dealt with, he told me that he caused more damage being in the home than anything. And when he knew that, that's when he kind of pulled away. Now, he ended up becoming a better person after that. But the whole point of the matter is, I was impressed because he recognized how much of the damage that he was causing. He said, man, I want no good to them. I want no good to me. I want no good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't no good. And I don't remember exactly what it was that made him feel like he wasn't any good. But it was almost like he knew he had to get up out of there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? In order to get himself together.
Yep.
And then and no fault of his children's mother, because when he was ready to come back, she was like, I'm alright, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good. We don't need you in that way. We need you. You can still co-parent. You can still be here for your children, but as far as being with me, leave me out of it.
Exactly. Well, like I say, as a parent, I had to realize this. It's the same thing. If I go in a classroom and I go in there and I pick up a chair and throw it off the wall, my actions, my energy is going to ripple effect, and everybody in there is going to be affected by it. So as a parent, if I go into my own household, how I treat everyone in there is going to be a ripple effect too. How I treat the mother, how I treat the child, how I even treat just some of the inanimate products and things that I have in the furniture. If I start slamming that, he get mad. This is what happened.
Right.
She might start, thinking I'm gonna be aggressive towards her, or get scared and see that now I don't want to communicate with him because he taking it out on something inanimate. Imagine if he takes it out on me. But when we look at ourselves first as what energy we put out, that's why I always like to try to lead by an example, especially if it's gonna be for someone younger. Absolutely. If I'm looking at what I'm putting out, then what they give me back may be what I desire.
Right.
Because I'm putting out something positive.
Exactly.
So more than likely they're gonna see it and feed it back to me. But if I'm putting out something negative, I can't even determine what's gonna come back to me. It might not even come back to me. They may hold on to that. And it may hurt them even more because they don't know how to push it out. They may push it out to me negative, may push it out to their mom negative, may go to school and beat the heck out of some little kid negative.
Exactly.
So when we look at ourselves at what we're doing, I think it will make a big difference, especially, like I say, in two-parent households. You got to look at yourself. It definitely
do. I have to agree with that. The thing about it is, you just want, when you are parenting, man, I know for me, I know with my children, I just wanted to raise children.
Exactly.
I wanted to raise my children in a way that they didn't have to recover from their childhood. So I knew there was certain things I couldn't expose them to. Even if they were exposed to it, it couldn't be by me. Now, it was certain things that I wasn't going to do because that's just what it was. I know if it comes from me, it means something totally different than coming from somebody else. So, like, it was certain things that I knew, but I never pushed my children's father away from co-parenting. I always encouraged it. You know what I'm saying? And like I was just big on that because I always felt like children need mothers and fathers.
Yeah.
The positions that fathers play, honestly, are huge. Like those
until your conscience
impressionable father.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what that for the girls and the boys, it hit different.
Oh yeah.
Having a father that you can brag about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that hit different.
I mean, most of the time, my daughter would try to emulate what I was doing.
Of course.
Copycat, do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're learning, and believe it or not, they learn when they're in the womb. Just to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
For those that may not know. So they can feel all that vibration and that yelling when y'all getting into it. Even when you're pregnant, they can hear your voice, man.
Well, that's why they say the mothers are the first teachers, and they are to a certain extent, but they never mention, like, you know how a lot of times they'll be like, the mothers are the first teachers, the mother's this, the mother. And what I have to try to explain to people, the rate of how many mothers actually leave here having children, we have to get around that too, saying that mothers are the first people that children, the first teachers or whatever, because there are a lot of children that are striving, that are really doing well, and they ain't had no mother.
Yeah. I well, for me, I'm old, so let's not say that. But
you're not old. You're older.
But
wise.
For me, when I was coming up, it wasn't my mother. It was my uncles and my aunts and the people within our neighborhood, within that block that we stayed in West Side Chicago, that taught me. Like when he was saying earlier how, you don't want your kids to be having terrible shoes and getting teased and all that stuff. I was the kid. I was that kid that didn't have the shoes, but my neighborhood was so tight that my friends, either my parent bought me a shoes or gave me their shoes that they couldn't wear, or but they wasn't tore up, or and they didn't look like him. And that was because back then we took care of our shoes.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. That toothbrush out.
They got that toothbrush. So
we used to change our shoes when they got too little.
I think
wash
that
them shoestring
of the neighborhood helping as much as possible has been lost. And so that's why we have so many kids in distress. And like All Man Apparel said, he said that he always tells his children, try not to disappoint God, and then most likely you won't disappoint your parents.
You won't, exactly.
Yeah, right. Those are good words to live by.
Like right now, like the generations right now, they are too comfortable with going to hell. And I often say that because of the simple fact of they don't have anybody that they're trying to please. They don't have anybody that they feel is worthy of trying to please, and that's dangerous.
I think and another thing that's reckless as well is I don't see future in their sight or vision. I don't see long term. I see get it fast, live fast, die young.
It's a microwave.
I'm not afraid to die, and they're not even afraid to throw the freedom away till you get behind that courtroom. Then it get real to them, but that's a story for another time. But
but it shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like I honestly don't feel like that's why to a certain extent when it comes to. And the next time that we all get together, I do want to talk about the teen violence that we're experiencing now, and the things that that maybe parents can do. I know. I looked at a Facebook memory yesterday, and it was talking about Earth Angels, which is the nonprofit that we had or whatever. And the main thing that we were talking about in that caption that I read off was a teen center. Was talking about the teen centers and how we needed to get funding for a teen center. And now that I think that was 8-9 years ago that I saw that. Now that I'm a little more mature, I know my calling is for the parents, and that's where my calling is. My calling is no longer for the children, because see, the one thing that I know is like I don't really deal well with disrespect and stuff like that. And if a child get out of line, I choke slam. Okay, I still believe in that. So I rather not even. I can deal with the children, but I'd much rather go for their parents. I could guide.
I got the youth for you then. Yeah. I mean, I like dealing with that because without the youth, we ain't gonna have a future anyway. So, I gotta handle that because you think about it, like our doctors now pretty much are older than us, right? So if I want to find someone young that can probably caretake me, man, I really want to trust my own. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't looking good if they all gonna be dead, locked up, or wanting to shoot a jump shot all the time and rap rather than do something. You know what I'm saying? That can actually help produce in society as well. Right. And there's nothing wrong with those careers. That's
absolutely
making millions with that. But at some point, you break your wrist shooting a jump shot, you might want a black doctor to help you.
Right.
So I'm definitely on them youth also because I'm going to be older and I don't want to get knocked over my head. I want to keep my ear to the street, be able to understand what's happening, be able to, convince a life or two, to walk the right path. If I can do that, and if they look at me and they see somebody that they can relate to just based off of what I look like, when I open up my mouth, I know I can make a difference.
I absolutely agree.
Grindhog said that this generation, that the shame has disappeared, and they seem to have a don't give a fuck attitude.
Right. But that's because their parents have that same attitude.
They see that. Yep, they got
like they're getting those attitudes a lot of times. Like I said, circumstances make it real hard for some parents to get through, and that's just being honest with you. The cost of living is expensive. You think about the needs, and you think about having to do everything on your own. You got all you have. I'm just gonna say 2 kids. If you just have 2 kids, you got 2 people depending on you for everything. Hell yeah, that's a lot of stress, anxiety, and everything else. So when I speak about coming for the parents, I think that we need to get these parents mental together for one, and we need to also let them know that you ain't in this alone. Like, they have a support group, because just as well as children need support groups, adults need them as well. They have trust issues. They've been abandoned. It's a lot of things trauma that they've had they're trying to recover from. They ain't gonna tell nobody because they still trying to protect the people that caused the damage. You know what I'm saying? So when you feel like it's a community and y'all got this together, trust and believe it's a totally different ball game. So me personally, I feel like what I can contribute to the parents and just letting them know, it ain't all bad. Yeah, you got children with people or whatever that felt like you did such a good job as the mother, you deserve to be the father too, type shit. But it's all good because guess what? You got resources.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got resources.
Who has had counseling for mental health is worth it. I've done it.
Absolutely.
I've done it. I went through it. And I'm gonna start back going through it this year. I'm gonna go back.
Because it helps.
Yeah, it does.
One thing I wanted to mention too. I kind of actually like the fact that you said you wanted to deal with the parents, because communication does have to be held with them in order to help the kids. Because sometimes when I do go to jump and help them kids, I really don't want to have to be fighting with the dad or the mom about, you know what I'm saying, how I'm trying to help. So I do understand that, and that's definitely important as well. But I also say, like, sometimes the parents have to understand when you are trying to help them and when you are trying to help their kid, because they can have that ego and be real standoffish.
But that's the thing, that comes back to trusting you, and that comes back to trusting you, because see, all of these things that we're dealing with now starts at the head of the family, and if the single mother is the head of the family that you're trying to save, or that you see is in distress, then it's going to take a certain amount of trust for you. You think about a person that has been sexually assaulted or sexually abused. How much trust are they going to have in the next man? The reason they trusted the man that they have kids with was because of something that they revealed, or something that was done that took them away from that trauma for a minute, but it put them right back in it once he abandoned them. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's certain things that we're going to have to work through with these parents, because, and a lot of people out here just having sex. They just having sex. They jackrabbing. They just having sex, and oh dang, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, they definitely don't need to be trying to match Nick Cannon and all them.
That's what I'm saying. But you'll be surprised how many men out here that have exceeded Nick Cannon. And that's what I'm saying. Like, but y'all, you can't. But they'll not end up with any of those women that they're having these kids with. End up with somebody else, pouring into somebody else's children. And it's like, dude, you got 10 dang on kids yourself. Yeah. Like, what you gonna do for them? But they were in a position to move around all of those kids, because guess what? The mother didn't vet correctly. So it goes back to the head. You understand what I'm saying? It goes back to the head of these families.
As a man, you shouldn't even really want that. Like, I don't
But we can't say what you shouldn't want.
I just don't understand, like, you know, I have one child, so I know what that child means to me, and I know what it takes to try to parent and have a child with the least amount of problems and complications. Man, so for me to add 10 of them on the table, like, what y'all thinking about, bro? Like, I don't care if you do got the money for it. What you thinking about?
You know how? Okay, so like I know for myself, I went from having one child to 2 children in 2 years, because Dun is only 18 months older than my twins. I know how traumatizing that was just for me.
Gotcha.
So I understand that it probably was traumatizing for my children's father as well. The only problem is how you react to whatever it is that's going on, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, your reaction and all those things is what really matter. The situation itself, okay, clearly somebody wanted these babies to be here, because guess what? Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. So many other outlets that could have happened as to why to make it what they want here. But we have to, even with men, we have to make them understand the importance of, not the importance of, but what comes with pregnancy. Because a lot of times men don't know. Like, only thing they know is the mood swings, you know, things like that. That's what they know when it comes to pregnancies and stuff like that. They don't understand the other things that come along with it, from the complications, the things that black women face. It's just so much. So I know we got another podcast coming in a little while, so we got to go ahead and get off air. But these are some of the things that we're going to touch on the next time we all get together. And you know what I'm saying? And you know, y'all can catch us on Sundays, Westside Misfits Radio Show, on Misfits Radio TV at 3:00 p.m. And we'll just kind of put it out there. That's what we're going to start off with on our next show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming. A.B. Another joke. Y'all heard that? So ain't that crazy? That's funny. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in, and thank you. We'll see you next week.
Sitting in my room, waiting for the afternoon so I can finally tune in with my friends. Talk about good times, music, laughs, and easy vibes. You can share whatever's on your mind. 'Cause we're just misfits, regardless of your distance. You can always find a place called home on Misfits Radio.
Dope. Yeah. Chef Zoe. MP80. Truth himself.
Chillin' with my misfits. Feeling so different. Chillin' with my misfits. Feeling so different. If you with it, come get it. Need you to listen. We gon' come with it. Hey, DJ Lab on the 1s and 2s. Mixalot, you know just how we do. 316 and we in this mix, though Snyder, you know we poppin' too. By my nose, so it's adios. Ain't no need for that chopper screw. Chillin' with misses, yeah, dope licks, you know how we do.
Chillin' with the host, Mixalot. DJ Lab playing the shit that's hot. Slick, I was ready to pop off. T-Mac giving it push.